Welcome to the Cool Lights Video Magazine. I'm your host, Richard Andruski. And this is the first edition. And today we're going to look at adding barn doors to a halogen work light. Now in my Cool Lights video, I did show how to convert a work light to a fluorescent video light, and barn doors were part of that process. But I later updated the barn door process to go from 2 hours to 20 minutes. And then I made a kit of the main parts available on my website. But today, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to be able to do it yourself. So let's get started by looking at the tools and parts necessary to complete this project. This is one of my fluorescent halogen conversions, but could just as easily be an unconverted work light also. So you'll need an electric drill, 9/64 and 3/32 inch bits, wire clipper, small pliers, sheet metal shear, a clamp, rivet gun, and an electric or manual screwdriver. I got these convenient 32 gauge sheet metal squares from Home Depot. 22 to 24 gauge is preferred though, especially for the hinges. This is my CL-BD4 barn door kit, which includes 4 pre-cut powder coated sheet metal doors and 4 hinges. You supply all the rest in the labor. I'll show you how to make these with sheet metal squares, and you'll just paint them later with a high heat flat black paint. You'll need up to 16 rivets for attaching things, and optionally some small compression springs and 6/32 inch 1/2 inch machine screws and locking nuts. On my website in the downloads there's a pattern for the barn doors. Download it, print it out in actual size with no scaling, then tape the pattern to your sheet metal and cut out the door with your sheet metal shears. The hinges are on the pattern also, but should be cut out of a minimum of 24 gauge or they'll never last. Please be careful when cutting sheet metal. The edges are as sharp as glass. You don't have to use my pattern, but as you'll see later, this one is very versatile. Put the 9/64 inch bit on the drill and clamp the first hinge to the edge of the work light as shown. Drill a hole and punch a rivet through into the fixture with your rivet gun. By the way, at least one of the hinges in your kit will have a notch in it. This notch fits around the special receptacle that is commonly found on the side of the work lights. You can see it here, as well as how our first hinge looks when attached. Continue the process until all 4 sides have hinges. Now here I'm showing how you can use a 6/32 or 8/32 inch self-tapping sheet metal screw to attach the hinges if you like, so you don't have to buy a rivet gun. Just drill a 3/32 inch hole down into the fixture and then drive in the screws. They strip easily though, so only screw in just tight enough. For attaching the doors, line the barn door hinge tab hole up with the fixture hinge tab hole with barn door tab on the outside. I use rivets to attach them, but another common method uses compression springs and machine screws. The springs keep a constant tension on the nut to keep it in place. A lock washer would just get ground down over time. Just use a rivet on one side and a screw on the other. Rivets alone can get too loose sometimes, but your screws allow you to retighten. After attachment, you should just exercise the doors carefully so as not to bend the hinge tabs. The CL-BD4 works well on a work light scoop too. See how my pattern allows the doors to be folded down for convenient storage and transport? Use machine screws, lock washers, and nuts to attach the hinges to the scoop though. The thin aluminum is just too weak to hold rivets well over time.